Hi, I'm Lorcan.
And I'm Yuki, and welcome to Shuffle, Skip, Repeat, your new destination for all things music.
Yes, we will be taking a deep dive into the latest music releases. Whether it's a pulsating pop anthem or a soul-stirring ballad, no genre will be off limits.
It won't be all fun and games, however, as each episode will also serve as a platform for critical analysis, exploring the challenges, triumphs, and controversies that shape the music world, so as to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the industry's inner workings.
Now, if that wasn't already enough, get ready for some star power, because between episodes, we will be releasing bonus interviews where an array of familiar faces take us on a musical journey through their personal playlists.
They'll be revealing the songs that have inspired and shaped their lives and sharing the tunes that make them laugh, cry, and dance like no one's watching.
So join us for all that and more right here on Shuffle, Skip, Repeat. We are now joined by actress, DJ, entrepreneur, and now skating legend, Patsy Palmer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks.
Hi, Patsy.
But a lot of people obviously in the UK based know you from your time in EastEnders.
Yeah.
And you've obviously been back and forth, and that's you clearly a love there for it. Mm-hmm. But I think what people might not know was that some of your episodes were some of the most viewed episodes, like in the soap's history. Yeah. What was that like at the time? I think 22 million tuned in for your on-screen wedding. What was that like at the time?
Well, it was an amazing time anyway for doing something like that. Yeah, it was just a bit crazy because obviously then we didn't have social media, so there was like always paparazzi everywhere and everything was just in like print press, so you never had anything online. You know, there was never any mobile phones, so it was a very, very different time, and I feel that all everybody had to rely on was like BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 4. I don't think there was even like ITV Channel 4. I don't think there was Channel 5 even, you know, so we literally did just have 3 channels, you know. So I think that was probably why it was like in people's living rooms every day, or twice a week when I first started, and then it went to 3 times a week, then it went to 4 times a week, and it was basically just you became everybody's family member every week, which
extended
was a bit,
family,
because that's it. You are probably amongst one of the most recognisable faces in the UK, which is a lot, and especially now that, you know, there are smartphones, there's social media,
I know it's just oversaturated, but it just means that everybody can have their little 15 minutes of fame, which is great. You know, if that's what people want, that's great.
Do you think it was slightly easier then that you didn't have that pressure?
Yeah, I don't really think there was any escape for it for any of us. Like, you were constantly followed by the press, hounded, you know, paparazzi everywhere. Now I just don't think they bother because everyone does their own. Yeah. Because you've got your mobile phones. So in a way it's quite good. You can just like keep it all at bay really, because you can just keep updating your Instagram or whatever, and then you know they're just going to take your Instagram and put it in the press anyway, so you can sort of control what you want to go out there and what you want to write. And I just, you know, whereas then you couldn't. But I think it would be terrible now had there been mobile phones in the night.
There'd be a few stories, wouldn't there?
It wouldn't be a good thing. Yeah, you'd sort of like walk in clubs then with your hands over your head, jackets over your head, and leaving at 6 a.m, jackets over your head. I don't think you'd be able to do that now. But it was great that there wasn't any mobile phones, just in general really anyway. I think now it's just become such an addiction. It's crazy. You wonder how it's ever going to go. Is it ever going to stop? It's never going to stop. But that's quite scary, I think, in itself, really.
And actually, that's a good point, actually. If you're just listening, make sure you check out our social channels.
Yeah.
Go and grab that phone. So staying on acting, I just want to talk about your youth a little bit. So you're an East London girl, is that right?
Yes, yeah, Bethnal Green, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood and how you got into acting, and like what's the story behind that?
Well, I was very young, so it was just something that happened, and it was by accident. My brother went for an audition for a play. I mean, you probably know Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's probably still going now. It was Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and it was in the 70s. And he went for the audition. He was old enough. I was 6. I wasn't old enough. And all the parents could leave the auditorium. The children, the siblings could stay in. And I started crying. I stayed in, but then I didn't want to stay in. You know, when you're that little, that's what happens. And so it must have been whoever was casting it sat me on her knee, was just being lovely, you know, looking after me until my mother came back. And then And then she put me on the stage. The story goes, I mean, I can't remember it. I can remember bits of it when I think about it. I remember they were singing Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And I can remember singing it along because I knew it from school. And I just got picked like in the group that were picked for the show. But I was clearly, you know, too young. And they said they wanted me in it. And I was in it, and I stayed in it for a couple of years. And it was actually perfect timing because I wasn't happy at school. I got bullied for my hair being red. I always felt very different. So it was nice to just get out of an environment. Bethnal Green was very, it was a tough place. You know, everyone was quite tough growing up there. You know, a very working class place. It was brilliant for so much of it, you know. But it was a very tough place to grow up. Looking back now and thinking about how our children grow up, you know, it was very different. There was a lot of fighting. It was like the kids loved to fight, you know. It was like, do you want to fight? And it was like, please don't ask me if I want to fight.
Maybe not today.
I don't want to fight. It was, I always remember like, do you want to fight? And it was like, oh. And there was an alley round, if you've ever been to Columbia Road. Have you been to Columbia Road? So do you know the pub, the Oak? And they'd go, meet you in the alley after school. And you'd think, oh, I don't want to go to the alley after school and fight. Like, I don't want to fight. But if you say no, you don't want to fight, then it makes it worse in a way. You have to like fight, just do that one fight, and you'll hope that once you've done the one, you're not going to have to do any more. It was really crazy. And like it was little kids just behaving like that. So it was silly, really. And when you look back, you're like, oh, you shouldn't have been so scared. But I was really scared. I didn't like it at all. So that got me out of it. It was a very different environment. Dancers, you know, just different people, really different backgrounds. Really enjoyed it. Singing every night in the choir.
Really,
loved it. Yeah, it was escapism, yeah.
That's quite nice.
That was perfect. It was perfect timing. It was like I just got sort of plucked out of it, put into something else, which was really nice.
And talking about something else, you're a very multifaceted woman.
I am.
And your entrepreneur side and your hair care business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I started Good and Proper during lockdown, and I just didn't want to sit there the whole time. Didn't know how long we were all going to be locked up, you know. So I just I had the products that I'd been working on a while back. So I just thought I may as well just create the brand while I'm at home. So luckily I've got 2 gorgeous kids that modelled for it, which was brilliant. So we did that at home in the garden, and I just created the brand, and it's all very much based on what I love doing, which is meditation, taking care of myself, you know, promoting that to women, that it's really important to take care of yourself, and to men. But usually it's busy mums, I feel like, that struggle most in taking care of themselves and not having that guilt, and just finding little ways of adding your meditation into your daily things that you do. And I think everybody's ready for that now. I just feel like when I was creating it a few years ago, people just weren't ready to slow down. It'd be like, yeah, but nobody wants to slow down. You know, everyone's just like on it. Nobody's got time. And then all of a sudden, everyone had time.
That's it. Yeah. And this is what I love as well. It's like hearing you talk about your childhood, and kids can be so mean sometimes. And the fact that you were bullied for your hair, which is like stunning. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you went to that Joseph audition with your brother, it's like, it's probably the thing that you were being teased for that kind of almost made you possibly stand out, you know, like they see you and they see your hair.
Sure. But that usually is the case. Listen, it's so sad that any child hates anything about themselves, you know, and you just see it a lot. You see it way more now with social media. It's very difficult for children now, I think, to keep up with everything and how everyone is and what everybody's doing and what they're not doing.
So you're one of these very, I'll say lucky, because I'd love to do both, that have done Strictly and Dancing and Dance. How would, not to compare the two, but how do they compare? What, like training regimes, timing, fun levels, like how do they compare?
When I did Strictly, it was in the beginning, so it was very different to how it is now. I have watched it a bit since I've been back here, and I just felt like there was still a lot of kind of playing up to kind of like setting up, I would say, in a way where, you know, there was still like a judge that was mean. So it was still in that sort of format where I feel like that was very difficult, trying to learn something at such a high level and you were so badly criticised for it. Whereas Dancing on Ice just does not have that. And it makes such a massive difference that you're not terrified to face the judges. you know, you want to face the judges because you know that the judge is going to give you constructive criticism. And the judges on Dancing on Ice are just the best judges. Like, I honestly just can't wait to get to the judges because I love them. I love Ashley. I love Oti. Chris and Jane are obviously legends. And they give such brilliant feedback. And I think that people are a little bit tired of that nasty... Well, I am. I don't
Absolutely,
like it.
yeah.
You know, that nasty critical mentality that we had for so long on TV. And I just think it can be... well, it's not constructive, actually. It's not constructive at all. And especially when you're learning skills that's so out of your comfort zone. You know, the last thing you need is to be just criticised for the way you look or what you're, you know, it's just not really nice. So, yeah, I've definitely enjoyed Dancing on Ice a lot more than I did Strictly, I must say. I did like it, but this has just been, honestly, I can say one of the best experiences of my life doing Dancing on Ice. And that's what I say, if anyone's listening, and I said for 15 years, no, I'm not doing that, no, I'm not doing that, can't do that, so dangerous, or, you know, could really hurt myself, how can you dance on ice? Like, you know, I can't even ice skate. I would just say go for it. It's the best thing you could ever learn, honestly. It is, and you're so in the moment. It's such a therapy. And I got back there the other day and I put the skates on and I nearly wanted to cry. It's like there's a lot of emotion in these skates. It's a really amazing thing.
It's
the ice is amazing.
Though. It's impressive to go for. Like, did you have much experience at all in the past? Yeah, it's an impressive skill.
Yeah, it's good.
And in terms of to get you to the stage where you're ice ready, so to speak, what's that like? What's the training regime like? How many hours you have to put in?
You do 30 hours, so you have to do 2 hours a day every day. So from September we did 2 hours a day we did 2 hours a day every day until we got voted off. And then it was 3 hours sometimes. Yeah, it was a lot, but I'll miss it. I'd like to do that every day of my life.
And did you make some friends from the show?
Everyone. Yeah, most gorgeous
nice.
people, beautiful production, really amazing crew. Everybody is really nice, so supportive of each other. Really, really nice.
That must help. You must enjoy
great.
Coming to work every day.
Exactly, and I think that's what everybody needs.
Yeah.
You know, really some good solid support, good laughs. Really nice, great crew.
You can tell, like, it's interesting hearing what you're saying because you can it comes across.
Yeah.
Like, it just comes across as genuine and...
It's very genuine. There's no one there that's nasty. The thing is about ice skating, as soon as you start doing it, you realise there is no competition. The only competition you have is with yourself. So you can't learn any more than you can learn in that 2 hours. So from when you start on very basic steps. So you just obviously start going forward, then you'll be going back, and I was like, I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, that's how it goes. Oh no, I could never do that. They go, right, go back. No, I can't do that. They're like, you'll be doing it. And I say, when? By the time we get to the show, they say, no, in about half an hour. And you just can't believe that your mind can take over your body as quick as it does. You know, it's a amazing thing to learn. You just can't believe that you're going to learn what you learn. And you just learn it because they know how to teach you. You know, they're so good at it. They know exactly. And they say, you'll know it. Everybody learns the same, you know. So there's no competition because you can't force yourself to do anything better than anyone else. You can only do what you've learned in that time. It's interesting.
What was it like first night when you're about to step on the ice?
Absolutely terrifying. I was honestly like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is crazy. And doing it like, it was like a DJ. It was really fun. It was everyone's best things that they love doing. So yeah, I didn't know they built me this whole thing with the decks and it was all pink and it was brilliant. It was like disco. Yeah, it was amazing. I thought, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I kind of messed up a little bit. But you got to remember, if we mess up, you don't know that we've messed up. We could do 5 steps wrong and you don't know because you don't know what we've rehearsed. But you still can't get that into your head. I was terrified and you could see my face. I was like, whoa, you know. And then it
acting,
throws
I
you
suppose,
off.
isn't it? A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you have to act it. You really do.
Well, you talk about music. That leads us in quite nicely.
I was going to say.
To the other facet of your multifaceted skill set is DJing, which you've now been doing for, I think, over a decade now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, not really, not professionally, but I certainly love music. Yeah. And I started playing probably maybe, oh yeah, well actually no, what I'm talking about, it is over, oh God, decade. That is crazy. Of course it is, because
we do our research on this show.
That sounds like a long time. I'm like, surely I've not been DJing for that long, but yes I have. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did it around time.
And you're like, not professionally. I'm like, that some of the places you've played.
No, I have been playing professionally for over a decade. So I'd say like, I'm actually shocked that you just said that, and now I'm thinking, of course, because I've been in Malibu for 9 years, and I was going to say I started probably about 3 or 4 years before I went to LA. I used to play in the Groucho.
I was going to say, yeah,
and just a few Soho House, places like that.
I want to ask you about a lot of the things you're doing stateside, but I want to know a little bit more about what it was like in your house growing up music-wise. So one of my earliest memories is what my mum plays when she was like cleaning around the house, and that stuck with, and I still listen to those same artists today. I'm always intrigued to find out if it's the same with other people. So do you remember what your earliest music memory was in the house? Yeah,
I mean, my brother used to play a lot of rap music, you know, like 80s rap. We would have that on, and there'd be like a lot of Marvin Gaye going on, Diana Ross, and I used to you know, like the little streets, you've been to Columbia Road, so you know like how the little streets are. So I used to get my speaker and I used to open the window, and you know the windows pull up like that. Yeah. So I used to balance my speaker so the window dropped onto the speaker, and I used to blast the music out onto the street. Honestly, it's so mad. Like, they must have thought, what is this little girl doing? Like, and I'd be like blasting out 80s rap music, De La Soul. You know, that. You know, I think my first ever, New Edition. Was it New Edition?
Stop.
Yeah, that was my first record, I think, that I bought. Not Candy Girl. Yeah, Candy Girl, wasn't it? New Edition. Yeah.
I've just got this.
Candy Girl, you're my world, you're everything. Yeah.
I just got this image of you shouting, "You're welcome." I should play this music out the window.
What is she doing?
You're welcome for the culture.
Imagine this street, this little red-headed girl hanging out the window and like blasting all this music out. I did used to do that a lot. That's probably attention deficit disorder or something like that they would call it now. I don't know.
And you say a bit of Diana Ross, etc. Any of these artists stay with you in your sets now? Do you find you play any like disco and whatnot?
I play disco, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love playing disco.
But it's had such
remix.
I hate saying it that it's had such a comeback because it never went away.
No, it's amazing. Do you know what I mean? If it ever goes away, I'll be just devastated. I don't think it ever could, and I feel like it's just real music, isn't it? And I love now that there's so much instrumental coming back where you can hear a lot of the instruments. Yeah. I really love it when a track builds up and like it's layered with all these instruments and then it comes in and builds up. And I don't really like commercial housey. You know, like when someone says house music, I don't, you know, I just wouldn't class some of it as that. You know, I just don't really like commercial loud where it just goes up and there's this big drop and like it's, you know, like, it's coming. I don't really like that. I've never liked it. I like music that people can dance. I like music that I can dance to, you know. And when I DJ, I like to see people dancing. I'm not really into going places where everyone's mobile phone in the DJ.
Because that's another thing as well.
I don't really understand what that is. You're supposed to be going out to dance. I like to go to places where people are really...
They forget about the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of and it's supposed to take you out of, you know, it's a thing. It's inside your body. It really is. And when they say house music is a feeling, it definitely is that.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit cliche, but
no, but it is.
And really it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And I remember when we used to go to the raves in like the late 80s, early 90s. And now when I think about a lot of the tracks that we used to dance to and we'd be like really like feeling it to for hours were the most spiritual songs. So I'm like, this was great. We were praying and we didn't even know we were praying, you know, so we were praying for a lot. And actually we got a lot of good things coming out of the 90s. You know, people were praying in those raves. Didn't even realize, you know, what they were singing. But a lot of it was so spiritual, really, you know, amazing.
So I want to talk about your brand, Godmothers. And I'm obsessed with the name, like, fully obsessed, and it being all about, I guess, female women empowerment, music with soul, with feeling, eclectic across genres. So it'd be great to find out more about that. I know you've been doing parties, but
it is really a very organic thing. It's the same thing. It's like it just started from just nothing really, and just the name I got. It was a neighbour of mine. She actually passed away now. She had a golf buggy, and on her golf buggy she was a real character. And she was really nice. When I moved into the place I was in, she was always lovely, like an older woman, but she was quite hard. She's like from New York, and like I never really sort of knew what she was going to be like. And she was nice. I didn't know if she'd be like us or whatever. And then a couple of times I noticed that she had like a really bad back, and I helped her a couple of times, and she just turned out to be so lovely, you know, really a lovely person. And she had godmothers spelt in the way that I spell it on her golf buggy she used to drive up and down. And then she passed away, and I knew her, I think it was her niece or her step niece or something like that. And I said, I really love that name. I would really love to use it. I DJ, and I would really love to use it and see like, and you know, and she was like, yeah, she said it was amazing because she used to have restaurants and everything, and they were called godmothers, like the restaurants. So it was a really lovely story. And then I just started DJing in Malibu Soho House, and I was doing this party, and I did it for about a year, and I did it once a month, and it was just me. And then a couple of my mates who are female DJs, I said, look, do you want to just come and play with me? And they were like playing that. And I didn't even really make that sort of connection that this was going to be something that was going to be all girls. And then every month I'd have another DJ call me, can I come and play? I hear that you're really supporting women. And I was like, yeah, amazing. And then I had Macy Gray come and play.
I mean...
And it was crazy. And I was just so happy. You know, you just think it's a real... I don't know, it was just such an organic, beautiful thing. And now I just try and keep it up. But then we had the fires in Malibu, so it stopped everything. And then we had everything that's happened in the last 2 years. And so I'm just now really starting to think about it again, and how I'm going to kind of try to make that happen again. And my friend Heidi Lorden, she's an amazing female DJ, like phenomenal. She's been very supportive all the time. So we tend to play together, and then it will always be under the guise of godmothers. So, and I've had people approach me now to say, do you want to bring out any kind of stuff? You know, like someone said, would I want to do a makeup brand? It's such a great net, you know. So I don't know, I'll see, but I can't focus on that because I've obviously got my hair care stuff to focus on. I have to focus on one thing at a time, but definitely I'll just continue that. And I love playing with female DJs. I just honestly think it brings such a different energy to the room. Not so intimidating. I don't know. I mean, I love all DJs, but I do particularly love playing with girls.
It is a nice feeling. Like, sometimes when I first started, you'd have, and I don't know if it's the same with you, you may be going on after a male DJ, and you know when it's that changeover, and they may put like a really short song on, so you can't change over in time, and there's that feeling. Whereas I find if I'm DJing with a woman, a female, she's like, how long do you need? Okay, I'm going to put this song on. I'm going to do, and you honestly see it. Like, I did an event with Vogue Williams once, and she was on before me, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to play, so I didn't have all my USBs sorted, and I had it on Serato on my laptop.
I know, it's always that first couple of tracks you're really scared, like you're just like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to play.
But do you know what happened? They didn't have the cable, so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't set up. And do you know what she said? She was like, don't worry about it, it's fine. Here's my USB, I've got all genres on here, it's fine. Like, she was leaving her set, and she was like, take it, I'll give you can send it back to me. I would never have that, no offense, Lorcan. Like, I feel like it's almost like a sisterhood.
Yeah.
Like, there's no competition. You want to see, because we're representing each other's, you know,
and
each
also,
other.
I guess I don't really know too much about the history of the industry, because I wasn't really in that industry. But I do feel that it was a very male-dominated industry, and it's just the same in history. You know, there's always that fight in any kind of industry for girls to kind of have to push their way into the forefront to try to kind of do what they need to do, which is a bit of a shame, but it's definitely changing. I mean, there's amazing female DJs. They're brilliant. My favourite is Natasha Diggs. Do you know her?
Yeah.
She's so brilliant. Amazing.
See, I really love Peggy Goo.
Yes, so do
I love
she's amazing.
Everything.
And she's an amazing musician as well, isn't she?
Exactly.
She plays the piano, and she's very talented. Yeah, I love her as well.
And I feel like, coming on to, I guess, again, you being multifaceted, and I know you're like, you know, I want to focus on the hair care for now. In my mind, I'm like festival stages, godmothers, makeup, seeing it all.
I've met an artist actually that wants to do something. I really want to get some visuals, and I've got a whole thing for it. I meditate a lot, and I just like visualize things, and then eventually they come to life. So I'm
That's
a
quite
big
nice,
believer
yeah.
in that, massive. And I think that you should create your own life. I don't think that you should be having a life that everybody else thinks that you're like, you know. I just think do what makes you happy.
Absolutely.
Words to live by.
Yeah. I mean,
You've done
look
it,
at you
I'm
now.
sure you
Yeah.
realise this,
Yeah.
and then you're doing it.
Every day, like we're full on. Yeah.
And you have to be thankful as well.
Yeah.
It's
That's
always
it.
good
Gratitude
to be,
is everything.
at every step of the way.
All of it.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm never like, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. I'm glad I have this, and if that happens, that's great.
And there's a really little good thing that you can do instead of like somebody told me there's a word. So you know, you say, oh, I've got to go to work, or I've got to do this, or I've got to do that, and someone said just change it to I get to, and then you'll be fine.
Someone said that about the gym. It's not
Brilliant.
like I have to work out.
Oh,
I get to work out.
I
Yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
How lucky. You know, there's some people that can't do that, you know, for whatever reason. I get to is a powerful one. It's a
I
little
love that.
word, but
That's
it's
lovely.
very... It's
That's
a big,
tattoo worthy, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean,
Look at that. Tuesday, done.
It's
Let's go. Patsy, underneath Patsy made us do it.
Just put Patsy on your hand. Patsy on that one. Patsy on that one. There you go.
I want to stick with music a little bit more. So obviously where you're based now, you must have like quite a lot of opportunities. Obviously it's great in London as well, but a lot of opportunities to meet some really interesting people in the music world. Have you had any experiences like that?
I met all my idols in one night. I was at a party and I was dancing on the dance floor, not as Patsy. Obviously, people don't know who I am over there. So I'm just as a person, you know, just dancing. And Q-Tip was DJing, actually. So, like, you know, no one's dancing. It's like, are you crazy? Like, how is nobody dancing? Q-Tip's literally DJing, and I was the only one dancing. And then I got a tap on the shoulder, and I turned around, and it was Pharrell Williams. And I was like, oh.
I'm done in life. I'm done in life.
So glad I was dancing. And he was like, this is great. Like, you know, of course, like, do you want to dance?
Pharrell Williams asked you if you
think
wanted to
about it,
dance.
Yeah, and he has no, you know, it's no idea that I'm an actress or anything. And I was like, looked over, I was like, all my little crew over there, bet you wish you were dancing now. And then I met Mary J. Blige that night, Dr. Dre.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm very grateful that I was invited. But yeah, that was really good because they are really. Mary J. Blige was probably one of the most humble people that I've ever met in my life. Honestly, really, I was so happy that she was like that. Yeah.
So just talking about life stateside, actually, it looks idyllic. It looks lovely. Is it as it seems?
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Peaceful?
We live in a bit of a bubble. Malibu's kind of its own little place, and we do keep ourselves pretty much to ourselves. We have a lot of English friends, and yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm very grateful. You know, I pinch myself every day when I wake up, and I'm looking at the ocean, and it's just, yeah, it is. It's like a dream, but I've created that. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And I'm sure you get asked this a lot. Would a move back here ever be on the cards? Or never say
I
never,
don't think
or?
I would live in England again, but I'd definitely like to experience something else in life. But I'm just not too sure if I will, because I'm very happy and grateful for where I am. So I'm not going anywhere fast. And I'm not too sure where that would be or what that would look like. But it just depends on life as well, doesn't it? And how it goes, really. And we don't know what's going on right now with the world, do we? Who knows, you know?
Should we ask some quick fire kind of music based questions?
Yes. I wanted to know, what is your, I guess, go-to club tune? Like if you're going to play a party and you want to get everyone on the dance floor.
Well, there's a great mix of Whitney Houston at the moment. I mean, it's not right, but it's okay. There's a good, I love that because it's kind of a little bit disco-y in as well, but it's got a good beat. I always love playing Frankie Knuckles, anything like that, classic. Probably Finally, Kings of Tomorrow. I love playing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask who your dream concert would be, as in like headliners. So if you get 3 headliners, and they could be dead or alive, I think would be fair, would be nice about it.
I would love to see Bill Withers. I actually met him as well when I was in LA and didn't even know it was him. Yeah, him. I guess I probably would have liked to have seen Frankie Knuckles DJ because I really think he was really amazing. Maybe Barbara Streisand I would like to see in concert. I think she's amazing. I don't really know. Who else? Who would you like to see? Kylie Minogue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I probably like Sade, who
Yeah,
again,
Sade, yes, definitely 100%.
just because I think musically, her voice, everything,
she's
and then
just
the way she
incredible.
kind of just carries herself and, you know, does her thing, makes her, she's just like an artist.
I mean, I think
doesn't
I
it?
play that Paradise probably
Yeah.
like once a day
Mhm.
when I'm in the car.
another music question. And to me, I don't know if like you guys listening are aware, but Patsy was a vocalist on one of, I guess it's arguably one of the best albums of all time, The Wall by Pink Floyd. How did that come about? And
well, that was just from my drama school I was at in Islington, Anna Shares, and they just picked 4 of us to go and do some vocals on one of the tracks on Pink Floyd The Wall, because they obviously had a lot of kids do Another Brick in the Wall, but this was for one of the other tracks on the album, and it was called Bring the Boys Back Home. It's not really a track that many people would know. It's like a choir, and it sounds like, you know, so many people, and they just layered up this choir. I mean, it could sound like thousands of people, and we got to go to the studio, meet Roger Waters, and just record stuff, and yeah, it was amazing. I was 10 years old.
So I guess when you were doing it, you didn't realise that it would have the effect that...
Didn't realise that it was that. And Pink Floyd, probably didn't even know who they were, really, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. It's
sure
iconic.
Everyone was saying, oh my God, it's Pink Floyd, you know, and we were just like all there.
What time's this over at?
Mainly ginger kids. They probably did it just to help us. We'll take you there.
The day out.
Yeah.
Oh God. And I think a nice question to finish on is, what track is your go-to? Would you say at the end of a set?
At the end of a set.
Yeah. What do you like finishing?
Well,
on?
I love Candy Saturn, and well, she sang Happy Birthday to me on my 40th birthday.
What?
Candy Saturn.
We need to move out stateside.
No, but I feel like it's the manifesting. It's the
really?
manifest. That doesn't happen to me. Like I've lived here my whole life. It absolutely has not happened.
Yeah.
No
She's
way.
on the stage. They brought me out a big cake and she sang Happy Birthday to me. It's like, this is random. Candy Saturn. How does that happen? So I play Young Hearts. That's a good one for the end. I always think that's really fun.
Wow.
Never.
Because the way you talk about music and like how you can go from like one genre to another and then just pull out songs. I know you're like not publicly, but if you're able to share off, I'd love to have like a playlist, because it's mad.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it is just like a thing, isn't it? It's like it is a spiritual thing, and that's why I love playing together with other girls. So let me know, and then ever we should play together.
I would love that, guys. You heard that? I'm gonna come out to Malibu, but honestly,
if you ever do, we should do something.
Oh,
I've
thank
really
you so
enjoyed
much.
this.
Yeah.
And can I just point out, no skips Patsy. She's not had to press the skip button once on Shuffle, Skip, Repeat. That's impressive. I don't think anyone's done that so far.
No.
Yeah. We need to up our questions.
You missed it. The lights turn red if you press the skip button.
Yeah.
Oh, shall I do it now then? Eclectic.
Thank you so much for joining us on Shuffle, Skip, Repeat.
Welcome.
It's been
I've
an
loved
absolute pleasure being
telling
here.
all my random stories.
It's just lovely, isn't it? Just have a chat and
Yeah.
just about
It's
music
good.
and people loved and listened to when they were younger.
I know.
It's been really lovely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.